Hey everybody, welcome to Bizarre and the Unknown. I'm your host Ed Testerman, and today we got an interesting subject. This is nothing that is based on fact that I know of right now. This is just questions that I pose. I'm trying to get my photos ready here, get into where they're at. So the question I have, and the reason why we have the show tonight, is over this feller right here. This is what they call Ape-Man, and it's supposed to be fossilized. Um, he's supposed to look like that right there. Um, so I pose this question, and this is why I want to kind of go over this on this show today: is it an actual um, ancestor of ours, or is it remains of Bigfoot that they've claimed to be something ancient that is not? Um, I know the day old question when it comes to cryptids is, or Bigfoot is, oh, you never have bone records, so they don't exist. Hey, Cynthia. And I always say, well, we know bears exist, but how often do you find remains of bears in the woods? There's been several reports of them finding remains under boulders. In fact, a lot of the historical newspapers that I've been going through here lately on the Library of Congress has even talked about one of them, if I remember correctly. Uh, can't remember what was that, but he found an arm sticking out from under a boulder, and there was a skeletal remains. Don was thinking I saw um, where the morning brew show was to start at 11 this morning. Oh yeah. It's depends on what it is. For me, it's like 11 o'clock Eastern time, 10 o'clock Central Standard. So, um, but when you think about things and you look at things, you always want to question them. Like they tell you, this is the skull of one right here. If you look at this, it looks a lot like a human skull. But if you stop and look at the reports of Bigfoot, now I'm not talking Gugwee, I'm talking Bigfoot. Begs the question is this kind of looks kind of like what a lot of them claim the face of Bigfoot looks like. I mean, something like this would be more along the lines of Gugwee, but you got a skull that comes out that's kind of flat faced, a little bit protruded at the lips, just like most of your reports of Bigfoot are. So I wonder because we know karma dating is not accurate, and we know when they don't want you to know something that they will do whatever they can to hide the truth from you. Neither A, claim it don't exist, or B, um, it looks human to you, but that is actually what they call a skull of the ancient, one of the first hominids of Ape-Man. Um, that is supposedly the skull of Ape-Man. So this is what they said they found when they done these, went over and these countries and done a bunch of digging, and they found this stuff. And they're saying, oh, yeah, this is Ape-Man. This is one of the first of the hominid people. So we know, hey, Rhonda, we know they like to hide stuff. We know they like to lie about things. So I've always wondered, is this actual remains of Bigfoot, or is this the ancient remains? Now, I mean, this is still that possibility. I always pose to people this theory that us the reason why we can breed with Bigfoot is because genetically we're very similar. So could that be what we looked like one time before we branched off and became what we are now? Hey, David. So, or is this actual remains that they're saying? Oh yeah, this is Ape-Man, and it's actually Bigfoot. So I don't know. I mean, what do you guys? Oh, sorry. You guys think that that is a possibility that this is one of those cases of them lying to us? Trying to look. There it is. But that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Is this a is this actual Bigfoot remains, or is this our ancestral remains? And it could be both. It honestly could be both. I can't dispute the fact that stuff could be Bigfoot related or Ape-Man related. Um, but when you look at stuff like this here and how it is kind of looks like a lot of the description of what they claim Bigfoot is, and that's based off of this skull right here. So I just thought it'd be interesting for us to talk about. That's kind of what I'm getting at, Cynthia. I mean, if you think about it, they all describe Bigfoot as being ape-like. We know that they can steal our women and make breed with them. So could that be what we looked like at one time, and now we're this here, or is that actual Bigfoot remains? So I mean, if this truly is ancient remains, then I'm leaning a lot. Really, I'm leaning towards the fact that I think that's probably what we both looked like at one time, and he probably could still look that way now. The way the government is possibly be Bigfoot remains. That's kind of where I'm at. That's the more. Hey, Larry. The more I research on this stuff, the more I start looking at it, going, there's something else here that we're not talking about. Was I think Ape-Man was another name for Bigfoot? And yeah, I mean, that is very possible, Don. That is extremely possible. And that's why I wanted to do this, because when I was doing all these researches, and I've got some articles here. I didn't think about it. Let me pull this up. I'll read one of these that I've found so far. And all these come from the Library of Congress. Ape-Man. There we go. Oh, that's an Ape-Man attack. It's not the one I wanted. That's kind of because we don't know the anatomy of Bigfoot. All we know is what our ancestors have told us. You're reading stories of Native Americans and stuff like that. So we know that they can breed with humans, which I've got reports in here where they've captured women. It's in newspapers where they've captured women and took off with them. Let's see if this is the one. So yeah, this is here's one here. This is a news article, and this is the Ohio Daily Express from Dayton, Ohio, Tuesday, December 9th, 1948 is when this paper was written. In Africa, the discovery of a new type of ape-man, more huge than 9 foot tall, Java giant near here, was announced by Dr. Robert Broom, Southern Africa paleontologist attached to the. I got to enlarge this so I can look at it a little better. If I can remember how to do it. There we go. Attached to the Transvaal Museum this week, Dr. Boom, who is working with the University of California expedition party headed by Wendell Phillips, made the discovery, which consisted of much of the lower jaw and a number of teeth of an animal. The lower wisdom tooth was found first in previously unexplored cave near here about 10 November. The paleontologist reported only a few days ago he came across 2 upper incisors, an upper canine, and part of a lower jaw, with 3 molars and 4 molars. The jaw is very massive, but related. Oh, very massively related. Sorry, this is kind of read this old papers a little hard. The teeth are very larger. The teeth are a little larger than in the recently discovered giant man of Java. The incisor teeth and canines are typically human and very unlikely those of an anthropod. He pointed out that the evidence to date, the party could easily say a new type of ape man had been discovered larger than those previously known. Conclusive factors show that these ape men are alike and probably ancestral to man and not closely related to living apes. Um, there it is. I had to scroll down. Giving people the hard way to go simply makes your oh, whoops, sorry, never mind. That was it. That is one of the news articles. Now, this one was for, like I said, this was from 1948, and they had already discovered what they called an ape man prior to this discovery, and now they're saying they found something even larger than him. And this article here is what kind of got me going. Okay, so I'm wondering if he didn't actually find remains of Bigfoot. If they're saying it's very similar to that, very similar to human, but this one is larger. But we know in old archaeology, there's a lot of misidentification, um, and that's what it makes me wonder if this is one of those cases. Um, yes, they are the same but bigger, Cynthia. And that's why I was like, could this actually be Bigfoot remains? And scientists are calling it a larger ape man. Let me take a look at this one. I can't remember this one off the top of my head. This is an old one, too. Oh, there's my enlarger button. Yes, that's what I need. So this is the Arizona Republican, Tuesday morning, October 12th, 1920. That's when this article came out. I actually got to reading the comics in this one too. That was one thing I remember from when I was a kid, was reading the comics in the newspapers. All right. The ape man has been. This one's really blurry, so you guys gotta forgive me for a little bit. The ape man has been found again. Every time a bleached explorer gets into Africa, he finds missing link. After calmer reflections, he learns what he discovered was neither missing nor a link, but a burnt human fitted, especially to his environment, so fitted by countless generations of existence there. This time it is Dr. L.J. Vandenberg, trailing the missing link to his lair, and he tells the world about the Congo ape man. Um, why couldn't Bigfoot be a lost subspecies that did not evolve? And that's kind of where that's the old theory that I've always talked about. Um, Well, and that's the thing. That previous news article, Don, was talking about he found another species of ape man that was much larger than the previously found ape man. And now this article here is about 20 years older than the one I read the first time. And well, and that's what they say. This whole thing brought about was about the missing link. The original news article talked about how they'd found a missing link in Africa between man and ape, basically missing link between us and Homo erectus, and they've called it the ape man. So This article here, like I said, was from 1920. The other one was 1946, 1948. So this one's from 1920. And where did I leave off at on this? It's talking about here that he was trailing the missing link. So he was actually following this creature. And he followed him to his lair. And he tells the world about the Congo Ape-Man. He's in Congo. And so he's talking about this creature that he found. In two respects, these inhabitants of the little-known Congo country resembles the ape. He can climb trees, but so do little American boys. White, red, and black climb trees. The Congo resident resembles the ape too, in that he cannot tell a lie. However, the late George Washington also had this peculiar, that word. The adult so-called ape man is about 4 foot tall, and at that it is regular skyscraper when compared to his better half. So he's taller than the females. The average of the Congo the savage of the Congo is unlike civilized men of America. He doesn't give a whoop about going to war, and never beats his wife. He never steals. Why hasn't the goodness you could leave your very best automobile standing in the man? So he's talking about these things here. They're the smaller version of them. That's kind of what I'm wondering. If this is actual fossilized remains of an ape man, is this what we and Bigfoot came from, or is this what Bigfoot came from, or is this what we came from? All of them very, very, very strong possibilities. My understanding, I could be wrong, that there were different species, but certain ones didn't evolve, and Bigfoot is one of those species. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on this too. Um, I'm right there with you on that one, and that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah. Um, this one here is talking about the fossil jawbone gives new missing link. This is from the Sunday Star, Washington, D.C., Sunday, May 1st, 1949. So, I mean, you're seeing all this stuff in these newspapers, and I haven't even gone through an eighth of it. I haven't even went through 1/32nd of these newspapers dealing with this stuff. These are only very few that I've found. Possible de novo scientific journal claim that to provide DNA evidence that Bigfoot is a hybrid of modern human females and an identified primate species that mated 13,000 years ago. That is one of the theories. Yes, that is one of the theories. You know, we have different kinds of Bigfoot. We know that, and that's why when I did that Neanderthal show, I posed a question on the ones that look human-like. Are they the last remnants of Neanderthal? Hey, Melissa, or are they, in fact, the cross species between Bigfoot and humans? So with that de novo and the Bigfoots and them being a cross species of what we know today, I can't dispute that. That is well within that means of possibility. And this is the kind of stuff we need to dig into as we're doing research and as we're studying these things. Is we need to study history. I mean, this is all stuff from history right here. I mean, that I'm looking up, and all of them has got some intriguing stuff to them. This is the San Antonio Light. So this one here, this article here, um, this wasn't what I thought it was. This was actually an encounter that they tried to play off. This is from the San Antonio Light newspapers, Saturday, April 3rd, 1926. Man, the newspaper back then cost 2 cents. I'm looking at it right here. 2 cents per copy. Ape-Man, believed human in fur coat. North Stonington, I can't read. April 3rd. Tagawonk's Ape-Man is in plain human man being in a fur coat and trousers. George Dennison of Mystic and Game Warden has come to that conclusion after a thorough search of the Horse D Minor farm in Tagawonk. Further, he declared his belief that the man was attempting to frighten Muriel, 19, and Mildred, Minor, 16, orphans into selling the farm, which they inherited on the death of their father 3 weeks ago. The Ape-Man has variously been reported by the girls and the neighbors as a hairy creature of terrifying menace. Basically, he's mean. While those who have seen him differ in the detail, it was agreed that the creature slumped along in the manner of an ape and jumped about with considerable more agility than was possible for a human being. Loaded firearms awaited the Ape-Man massacre, and according to Dennison, that is why he has not been seen in the last few days. So you got this article here I thought was interesting. Is here you got a sighting, and you're already seeing this is back in 1920s, and they're trying to play it off. They admit, hey, this guy is moving in ways that a human can't move. And it's the game warden's like, oh, it's just a human in a coat. So we see a history of this being played off. So that begs the question when it comes to this subject tonight. Are they playing this off, and they've actually had these remains, and they're playing it off as something else and playing it off that these remains are older than what they actually are? Or could Bigfoot be evolved from caveman? And that's one thing I was talking about. I mean, that is definitely in that possibility, Don. Definitely. The Ice Age caused him to grow hair all over his body to keep warm. Yeah. We seen, I mean, look at hairy rhinos. Look at the woolly mammoth, the mastodon, the smilodons. Look at dinosaurs were growing feathers. I mean, all this stuff had changed during this time. Now, if you study the evolution of Homo erectus, the first ape that stood up and walked upright, back when he became a forager and a nomad, hey Glades, they were hairy. They were apes until he stood up and walked right. That's Homo erectus. So Ape-Man is one of those stages in between Homo erectus and us. So, when every time I look at them bones and I look at that stuff, I'm going, man, if you listen to the reports of Bigfoot, that bone structure in that skull fits right in that category. When two presidents, Roosevelt and Carter, believe in Bigfoot, that tells you something. Oh yeah. You're exactly right, Roxanne. So for those of you just coming in, I'll show these one more time here. We're discussing what they call Ape-Man, the bone structure of Ape-Man, and what they say it looks like, where you got this here, and you can kind of see where this is almost flat-faced, kind of like what they describe Bigfoot as being. Am I not on? Wonder what happened to Eric. Oh yeah, my mic's on. You got these things here, like where this one here, this is an actual ape. This one here is an actual ape skull. You see how it sticks out so much further than this one here. This one here is a lot more flatter, and this is supposed to be Ape-Man versus an actual chimp, an actual ape. Yeah, this right here. So you can see a big difference there. Okay, good. But so I mean that's why I brought that up. Um, that's why I had the two skulls. You know, to me, the last one there, the actual ape one, more looks like Gugwe than it would a Bigfoot. Where the first one, which is supposed to be Ape Man, kind of falls in the line of Bigfoot. So it's just these stories. You know, I read a couple of these. I've currently got 5 of these saved. I've been saving giant remains and going through a lot of giant remain stuff. But as I run across these, you know, I've been saving them too. There is another one. I can't remember. No worries, Don. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Let me type in my keyword here. So this one here, I'm happy to get ready to start transferring things over to my external hard drive. This story here I found very interesting. This is from Waterbury Evening Democrat, Tuesday, October 30th, 1933. And the headline reads Canadian monsters believed lost race. Settlers 50 miles from Vancouver describe hairy giants, reported agile as goats, Indian story. And this is what got me looking a lot more into the Ape-Man stuff was because of this story right here. And then that's when I started finding these other reports, which led me to today's show. Vancouver, BC. Sasquatch men, remnants of lost race of wild men who inhabited the rocky regions of British Columbia centuries ago, are reported roaming the province again. After an absence of several months from the district of Harrison Mills, 50 miles east of Vancouver, the long, weird, wolf like howls of the wild men are being heard again, and 2 of the hairy monsters were reported seen in the Morris Valley on the Harrison River. Residents in the district tell of seeing the 2 giant leaping and bounding about of the forest and striding across the duck feeding grounds, wallowing now and again in the bog and mire and long waving swamp grasses. The strange men it is was reported after emerging from the woods came leaping down the jagged rocky hillside with agility and lightness of mountain goats. Snatches of their weird language. There you go. Here's language. They're talking about language in this one. Um, Floated on the breeze across the lake to the pioneer settlement at the foot of the hills. The giants walked with an easy gait across the swamp. I'm sorry, this is really blurry. So the swamp flats and at the Morris Creek in the shadow of the little mystery mountain straddled a floating log which they propelled with their long hairy hands and huge feet across the sluggish glacial stream to the opposite side. There they abandoned the log and climbed hand over hand up the almost perpendicular cliff at the point known as Gilbertar and disappeared into the wooded wilderness at the top of the ridge. They carried two large clubs and walked around a herd of cattle directly in their path. The return of the giants to the legendary stronghold of the Sasquatch monsters recalls the narrow escape of an Indian at the same spot last March. A large rock uh, nearly missed his canoe while he was fishing and looking up. He said he saw a huge and hairy monster stamping his feet and gesticulating wildly. The Indian escaped by cutting his fishing tackle and paddling away. The same Indian declares that Sasquatch twice have stolen salmon, which he tied in a tree outside his house, out of reach of dogs. The latest appearance of the monsters was peaceful. They avoided the trails unusually used by the people of the valley and molested neither cattle nor human beings. People have reported seeing the giants on their rare appearances, described them as ferocious-looking wild men, 9 feet tall and covered from head to toes with thick black hair. Like I said, that was a report of Bigfoot back in 1935. 31st of October 1935. Let me get caught up on your comments real quick. Yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff does. I mean, you're seeing reports. I mean that was right there. That was 1935 report in Honey Valley. Yeah. Glades, I think Superstition Mountains are also considered a headless valley. I don't know, but yeah, possibly. Roxanne, Apaches consider those mountains especially sacred. If I'm not, yes, they do. Yes, they do, but would not go in there. And people to this day go missing, sometimes finding them, and others times not. Yeah. So I mean, this is why I bring this stuff up, Roxanne. Yes, history of the Spanish gold buried somewhere. Yeah, there is a lot of stories of Spanish gold being buried in a lot of these spots in them areas. Even up here in Missouri, there's reports of Spanish gold that was been buried. That they put in what they called a vault. They made a vault in a hillside somewhere or a mountainside and buried it to come back to get later, and they never came back to get it. Now, this is also believed that if you listen to Native American tales, because of how the Spanish treated the Native Americans and turned them into slaves to mine this stuff and process this stuff, put a curse on that gold, and that's why people come up missing, is because they find it and they get unalived or go crazy or meet something in the woods that you don't want to meet. If you guys haven't already, hit that like, subscribe, and share button. Let's build this amazing universe that we got going on here. Also, if you wouldn't mind, I do have a Patreon account, patreon.com/the bizarre and the unknown. I've got 3 tier levels there, and each tier level has a certain perk to it, and each one of them have 0 ads to the videos that I post on there, which I'll be doing more of my book lives on that one. But so, I mean, you're looking at history of all these stories being told. Now, I mean, that one really don't coincide with today's topic, but that story there is what led me into doing a lot more research on the Library of Congress and finding these Ape-Man stuff out, which the more and more I looked at them bones, the more and more I go, something just doesn't feel right. I've been to Superstition Mountain when I lived in Arizona, and you can get a feeling of dread and no tours at night. Yeah, I've actually heard that quite a bit, Roxanne. That hey Woo, how's it going? You know, you listen to the stories, and Native Americans will tell you they cursed that stuff. They are treated very, very poorly by the Spanish, and so the Spanish is like, "Well, I'll fix you, and you'll never touch this gold again, and nor will anybody else that tries to get it and put a curse on there." And people end up disappearing. Um, Either something gets them, someone gets them, or the curse gets them. I mean, it depends. Are curses real? Yes, curses are real. Curses are very real. You have to keep that in consideration. I know a lot of your mainstream religion nowadays tells you it's all that's just old hocus pocus stuff. No, I can tell you for a fact. My family. I have a side of my family that was in dark magic. I never touched the stuff. I never dealt with it. And I don't know a whole lot to it. That's William Nighthawk's field of study. I can just tell you what I've experienced with my family, and I can tell you now, curses are very real. Yeah, I believe people can be cursed by others' thoughts. Also, yeah, I mean, in the Bible, Jesus said that you have the power of life and death in your tongue. So be careful on how you speak. So I mean, you got to consider that. We know black magic is very, very real. I mean, I can't deny what I've seen with my own eyes, and because of seeing what happened to my family, what all the bad stuff that happened to them is why I never got into it. I steer clear of it. There ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell I'll mess with that crap. I've seen what it does to people that do practice it. Witchcraft is definitely not a good thing. So, but I mean, so that's why like I said, that last story I read was one that got me into a lot of this other stuff and led me into this show. Is there's just it. I know what the government does. I know what the military does. I know what mainstream historians will tell you. Mainstream science will tell you. Um, and the more and more I looked at this stuff, the more and more I started putting things together. Going, some of these I can agree is probably really, really old. Um, some of them not so much. And then you're getting reports of, oh, this is like these other ones, but larger. Okay, so did you previously find remains of young ones and juveniles, and now you're finding adult remains, or are you finding another species? Um, and we know for a fact dating ain't nowhere close to accurate. It's just not. Nowhere close to accurate. So something they can date, saying, "Oh, this is millions of years old," or "This is thousands of years old," could probably only be 10, 20 at the most. I mean, they've been proven wrong on so much stuff. So much stuff. I can't remember. I remember hearing something. They carbon dated something that they said was like 30,000 years old. And the guy was laughing because he goes, "No, actually, that was a week old. I'm the one that put it there." No worries, Don. Welcome back, bud. So you got people telling you, "Oh, this thing is carbon dated thousands of years old," and the guy's laughing and goes, "No, it's only like 10 days old. I put it there." So it's like, okay. I mean, and you're trying to tell us that carbon dating is the way to go. It's the truth. It's fact. So I mean, I don't know if they carbon dated these bones back in the 1800s and the 1900s or the early 1900s when they were finding this stuff. I have to look it up. I don't remember when carbon dating became a thing. I was thinking it came around in the 90s, but I could be wrong. I don't remember. Um, it's not accurate. Well, okay, so yeah, so this brings up a thought that Dogman is evil. Only I look at Dogman, the type I saw, as a controlled force that could bring danger to anyone who makes the wrong decision concerning Dogman. So I'm on the fence of Dogman ain't necessarily evil unless pushed to be evil. You'll get more evilness from a werewolf or a wolf man than you will a dog man. But if a dog man is pushed, if a dog man is crossed, then I believe that's when it comes out. Now, that is not to say that there wouldn't be certain kinds of dog men, individuals that's just got a piss poor attitude and they want to attack anything that gets in their way. Because we know, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. They're just like humans as far as mentality is. You get some of the nicest ones you ever meet, and then one day something just happens and they go nuts. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on that, Don. I think there's good and bad. I mean, same as Bigfoot. I mean, I tell you guys all the time, I don't feel afraid in my woods with my guests. The Bigfoot that come on my property. But I'm also not stupid, knowing that there could be one that comes on my property. It's just got a piss poor attitude, and it just happens to be I was at the wrong place at the wrong time with that individual being there. The werewolf I have in my dreams since I was little is a guardian to me. There is reports of some werewolves being guardian types. Usually, when they take on the form of a werewolf, is because somebody wronged them and they want revenge. Now, there's also the ones that were cursed because they were in the wrong place at the wrong time and got met by a werewolf and got turned into one. So the possibility of them being a lot more kind than some of the others, I could see that as a possibility. Dogman could be menacing, threatening, dangerous, not good, maybe, but evil. Maybe some. I just don't see them as evil for the sake of evil. They are specific, assigned to, yeah. And then you got to worry about what has the government done to the ones that they have. There's been reports of them stating that werewolves are easier to control than dogmen are because dogmen has more of their beastie side to them, where the werewolves have more of their human side to them. And they'll tell you that a werewolf is easier to control than a dogman. So you also got to put that into consideration as well. So, and then it could be a possibility somebody took the werewolf curse to protect people. I mean, that's why I get a kick out of that one vampire movie with whatever his face is with Vlad the Impaler took on the vampiric curse to save his people. I laugh because, well, I mean, that's actually kind of possible. If you guys are interested, if you guys are not already following me on Facebook, on my author's Facebook page, you can follow me there. Anytime I do a book update, come up with a new book idea, I put it out on that Facebook page. When I come up with design ideas for book covers, I put it out there for you to vote. I've currently got the thing we was talking about this morning, the red-haired Bigfoot. I've currently got 5 designs up for vote on there. Now I've got designs for I got designs for giants, and I've got designs for aliens and robots as well. So each week I'll put out a set, and that's for the merch, to go into the merch store. So right now there is a opportunity to vote on which red-haired long, flowing, seductive, red-haired Bigfoot you want on a T-shirt for the merch store? Mine's been busy, Woo. Mine's been really busy between work stuff and everything else. I believe that is the one. Yes, Woo. I believe that is the one. I talked to William about it a while back, and he told me the wolf was my guardian spirit and guide. That is very possible. Yes, that is very, very possible. Could have been better when have had a season of misfortune, and yeah, I was out. I got half of my field mowed. Um, I haven't been able to mow my field this year because of just so much rain, and then the mower being down for warranty work. I've kept, for the most part, kept up on the mowing of my front yard and most of my backyard. The other day, Friday, I was out done the front yard, side yards, and backyard around the house. And today I was out there doing half of my field. Now I've got to get at the other half. Now I got to get the drives mowed, and I got to get the front. I still got a lot of mowing to do. Yeah, and another thing, while we're doing our prayers, keep D.A. Roberts in your prayer. He's had a family emergency, so keep him in your prayer. Makes good sense. What I saw from what I can gather, according to research of the similar encounters, is more than one that is reported at burial mounds and or burial mounds or yeah, that there is a lot of reports of them. Hey, Kevin, how's it going? There's actually a lot of reports of them being around burial mounds. I believe phenomenon is a good and evil, like everything else in the universe, yin and yang. I mean, yeah, that's one way to look at it. Absolutely, Woo. Tax Toxin says the likes of the Ginger Wolf. I do have new shirts, hoodies, and indoor coffee cups, along with campfire coffee cups on my Spring account that has the She Wolf on it. And I can load that up. Give me a second here. I'll load up what the design looks like for you guys. Let me get in my little hoo-ha thing here. Waiting on it to upload. So there is a new shirt design. It's in the Bizarre and the Unknown. On the front, I'll have my little The Bizarre and the Unknown. And then on the back, we'll have Ginger Lives Matter with the She Wolf. And that is the She Wolf. So that is the design on the new shirts and coffee mugs. And above it says Ginger Lives. And on the bottom of it say Matter. So that is the new design in the spring merch store. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad you love it, Roxanne. I told you I'd get one done. That is awesome, Kevin. I love hearing good news like that. I found out today that I have another grandchild on the way. Man, you are truly, truly blessed. Truly blessed. That is awesome. That's exactly. Congratulations, man. That is, oh, dude. If I was in your shoes, I'd be smiling from ear to ear. So I can imagine you are. Luckily, and I'm not in a big hurry. My kids are too young for it, but I'm looking that there'll be a time that that's going to be me. Yeah. So, but yeah. So I mean, I do have new stuff. I still got Bonfire up, but I'm pretty much switching everything to Spring, um, which the store is this one right here. The Bizarre and Unknown dot creator little hyphen thing or wherever that's called, the -spring.com. And in there you'll find regular Bizarre and the Unknown design stuff, and then currently I have the Ginger Lives Matter She Wolf up. I'll keep the voting up on the Sasquatch one. As of right now, number 3 is blowing everything else out of the water. So at the end of the week, I'll close that down, and then I'm going to kick around. Do I want to put the reptilian one up next? Do I want to put the robot one up next? Or do I want to put the giant one? And I've got all them designs ready to go be voted on. My kids are twins, 4 and 5, 10 months apart, 2 day in age. Wow. Edie, yeah, you love your grandkids, and I don't have grandkids yet, Roxanne, and they don't do no wrong. Wink, wink, and you can tell stories of their parents when. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to that time whenever my daughters come up to me. My God, my kids are doing this, and so, yeah, welcome to my world. You reap what you sow. They both just graduated pre-K kindergarten, where we come. I remember you saying something about that, Woo. I remember that. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm going to be one of those grandpas. I'm going to be the cool grandpa. I'm already the cool uncle. All my nephews and nieces love me more than the rest of them. I'm the cool uncle. My little brother goes to me sometimes like, man, my kids are more excited to see you than they are me. And I was like, yeah, I'm Uncle Eric. Oh man, but yeah. So I mean, that's I don't know. I'm gonna need to talk to some other investigators too on this theory here, but it was just one that I came up on this with doing research is that theory. Yeah, it is, and hopefully it's a lot better experience than I had with mine. I get to turn the table on my kids when they have kids. Not that I would do anything like that. You know, I would not put my grandchildren up to something. Never, never. The type of dogman I saw, some would say, according to my description, is a werewolf. Only it didn't fit the Hollywood image of werewolf. Well, that's the thing, Glades. You need to consider this. A lot of people. This is where another one knows like this one here. I'm wondering if it's misidentification. If a lot of dogman or werewolf encounters are not misidentification. Like the small video I got up, case number 002, possible dogman or werewolf. I lean more towards it being either a werewolf or a wolf man because those are the ones without a tail, where dogman has a tail. And both reports, the one that just happened and the one 50 years ago that happened in the same location with a very similar report, and they looked the same. Both encounters, they did not have a tail, which leads me more towards this. When I can get a chance to get down there to investigate this, I'm leaning more towards possibly werewolf or wolfman than I am dogman because both reported it not having a tail. So that's something to consider when you're doing research or when you're encountering this stuff. One of the key details you need to look into is does it have a tail or not? And a lot of people seem to forget about that part. And everybody wants to jump automatically onto the dogman bandwagon, which is, hey, to each is their own. But you got to understand there's 3 different types of these creatures out there. There's werewolf, there's wolfman, and there's dogman. 3 separate individuals, 3 separate deals dealing with them. The only 2 that's very close to looking the same is werewolf and wolfman. That's why I'm kind of leaning towards what this case that I'm getting ready to investigate is probably more so werewolf or wolfman because both of them, like I said, reported not having a tail. It's the old saying: werewolves are born, or werewolves are created, but dogmen are born. You got to consider that too. The one I saw when I was 8 years old, uh, old in Liberty, Missouri, had a tail. So that leaned me more towards Dogman. Yeah, Eric, the type of Dogman I saw would say, according to the description, is a werewolf. Only it didn't fit the Hollywood. Well, and you got to think that's Hollywood, Glades. You can't go off of Hollywood, but it didn't fit the Hollywood image of werewolf. You really can't base your opinions off of Hollywood. I mean, Hollywood is evil for a reason. Uh, oops, hit the wrong one. Sorry. Um, what the hell's going? Come on, thing. Eric, no snarling, crouched, and ready to pounce. It walked like a person, slow and calm, except for the hair over its all over, and the wolf-like dog head and person. It looked like a human in body, which would yeah. So I mean, right there, that's fitting with a werewolf or wolf man. Pigman is a bit too much when I heard that there heard your thoughts. Pigman is a bit too much when I heard your thoughts. Yeah, I'm not on the Pigman bandwagon right now. I've got to do some research on that. Pigman is a fairly new term that I'm not used to. I've not ran across anything on Pigman before. Um, I need to do some research. I'm not quite on the Pigman bandwagon. Eric had freaking clothing on, not shredded clothing. Yeah. So I mean, honestly, that would lead me more towards werewolf or dogman, just going or werewolf or wolfman, based on your description right there, Blades. I mean, I really would put it that to that. See, and that's one thing people also forget. Dogman is covered from hair to toe, head to toe, in hair, and has a tail, where werewolves and wolfmen are not. The legs are different on each of them. The feet and the hands are different on each of them. The heads are different on each of them. Um, so that, yeah, Cynthia. So I mean, there you go. I mean, it's you could have ran into a werewolf or a wolfman. It spoke to you. Mine speaked, and I never saw a tail, but I never saw its back. So yeah, I mean, if you didn't see its back, it's hard to tell. Usually, you'll see something resembling a tail because if it's getting ready to pounce, it's going to be kind of curled, getting it ready to keep its balance. Dogmen use their tails just like wolves do, and dogs do, and cats do. It's a balance. Um, Helps them to maneuver. And as far as mind speaking go, there's several reports of many different kinds of cryptids doing mind speaking, telepathy. The humans do it too. I mean, humans do it as well. So yeah, I mean it. I mean, so I mean, there you go. I mean, you don't know if it had a tail or not, but if you're saying it had a human features to it, and only like did the human features have hair or not? That's what I'm. Because if it didn't have hair, then it's definitely werewolf or wolfman. Um, because the dog man is the one that's covered from head to toe in fur. It's really covered. Where werewolf and wolfman, it's not. And yeah, I mean, not seeing the tail, I can see that if it's facing you, you're not seeing the tail. William, my brother, what's going on? Hello, everyone. Been listening. I agree, Eric, but I believe she had an encounter with a werewolf. That's yeah. That's the more I'm here, and that's kind of where I was leading at too, William. Um, I mean, the key thing is that tail and the fur. I mean, really, the key thing is that, and it's not out of the realm of possibility. Hey, Ray, it's not out of the possibility of a werewolf being able to speak to your mind. Humans can do it. My family has been known to do it with each other. Interesting, Cynthia. Interesting. Wolf egg, big like Bigfoot, hairy dog like back legs. Yeah, that sounds a lot like a dog man, but it could be werewolf too. I mean, you got to think there's humans that are very large too. So I mean, if one of them got transformed into one, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I do not know, William. I'll lean on you on this one because I'm not familiar on this part. Do they keep their height or do they grow when they have the werewolf or wolfman curse? Yes, my question is: was it a fluffy ginger looking? Hell yeah. Um, so I don't know for a fact if they grow or not, or if they keep the same height. That's one thing I'm not 100% sure on. It did have. Oh, come on, there we go. It did have hair all over, but not long hair. Its body hair was not longer than 2 inches, and the hair on its head and face was a little more longer hair, except for in the corners of the eyes. Huh. So yeah, I mean that would definitely put it in the dogman category. And Native Americans have told stories, and just like they did with the Shiai Tonka, that they could speak to your mind. Dogmen could speak to your mind. Look at the Hotomataneos. You know, they were able to transform into a wolf. I mean, your wolf zerkers. Okay, so they do. Okay, thank you, brother. Curses like werewolves can grow to natural height about 7 foot. There you go. Thank you. Appreciate that. Um, we have bear zerkers in my people, and you have your wolf zerkers too. Um, so that sounds a lot like a dog man. Grayish color through with black and white highlights. Yeah, that sounds a lot like a dog man. Yes, by the way, I forgot to say that first thing, guys. I apologize. Happy Father's Day to all you amazing, fabulous fathers out there. Y'all are awesome. We couldn't be here without you all, so I appreciate every single one of you guys. It's truly an honor and a blessing to be a father. It's definitely a challenging deal, especially when you have no manual to read over it to tell you what to do. But one of the happiest, proudest moments of my life is being a father. So, to all you fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Could it be possible that the dogman and werewolf mated somewhere along the way and made a different species? Wow, that is a good question. And I honestly cannot give you an answer to that. If I'm thinking to it scientifically, if I approached it a scientific way of looking at it, no, because it's two different kinds of species, which is not close. Um, at the same time, not really dealing with science. You're dealing with powers of nature, and you're dealing with dark magic. So I I would think they couldn't be in the same place together, but I mean I don't know. Honestly, that is wow. I never thought about looking into that. That has never crossed my mind because I've always looked at it a scientific way. Well, yes, Roxanne, but a coyote is basically a wolf. A coyote is like a very small wolf. So they can actually breed together. That's basically what a coyote is a small wolf, and a lot of cultures call them the small wolf. Um, so them being able to mate together is possible because genetically they're not that much different. It was 6 foot to 6'2". Estimate muscles like a professional athlete, but not Arnold Schwarzenegger muscles. Oh yeah, yeah, coy wolf. Yeah, coyote and a wolf offspring. Coy wolf. Yeah. Oops. Come on, stupid thing, work for me. Mutant species can be possible with the genetic manipulation help from outside sources. Okay, so there you go, right there. Remember Dolly the sheep in the 1997 was cloned and that was made public. What was 27 years ago? Yeah, Eric foxes are close in there somewhere with coyotes and wolves. I would say, I mean, most of your canine can breed each other. Um, Actually, I think every single one of your canines can breed each other. But when it comes to dogman and werewolf, it's not really the same species deal. One is born, one is created. But far as canines themselves go, they're all related enough that they can interbreed. Coyote is just coyote is considered a little wolf. They are a wolf, just like a small form. Hence, why so many cultures call them little wolf. There is a difference between them, between what the foxes and stuff like that, because of that. But they're all canine, and canines can breed with other canines. There's that cloned human baby they did. They actually do that a lot. Yeah, yeah. They're actually got programs now. You can pay a lot of money to have them genetically modify your child. And then President Bush made it a big deal to say cloning was done and signed an executive order, which we now know that means the opposite with certain things when they make. Yeah, that's why you see a certain individual on the boob tube. It's not a certain individual. Eric, would you know if the Wolverine is a canine? I believe the Wolverine is close to the bear. I'll have to double check. I believe, well, no, actually, I think it's a weasel. I'll have to double check. I'm pretty sure it's a species of weasel. Just look at the panda bear, the genetics of the black bear and teddy bear. Yeah, yeah, no kidding. Oops, Eric, you answered my question, but Wolverines look like possessed dogs and wolves. Yeah, I believe they are in the weasel class. If memory serves me correctly, it's been probably 20 years since well, no. The last time I looked at that was when I was at college at SMSU. Well, excuse me, MSU. Uh, um, and if memory serves me correctly, that was back in 2012-ish time frame. Wolverines were in the weasel class, but I got to look it up because I'm not 100%. I'll be honest and fun, I agree with you. But my sister child is from a man who donates his sperm. He paid 25 grand to get pregnant and chose the donor with they're supposed to do. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're not a problem, Glades. Not a problem. Uh, Wolverines, they're assholes, man. Them and badgers, which really there ain't a whole lot of difference between a badger and a wolverine. I mean, they're all the same thing. They're little pricks. Some program they have, I forgot what it's called. Yeah, they you can actually take and pay them. It's either 25,000 or 120,000 or 125,000. Something. It's a god awful amount of money, and they can genetically manipulate your offspring to your desired wanting. And I can't remember they done that. They made a movie about that. I don't remember what movie it was, but they were talking about doing that to their child. But they're actually doing it in real life. The bear cat. Yeah. Why is this thing? There you go. The bear cat. Yeah. Yeah, badgers, man, badgers and wolverines. I mean, they're pretty much the same thing. Honestly, badger and wolverine, there ain't a whole lot of difference between the two of them. They're pricks, man. They're pricks. So, but no, I mean, back to this. She got to choose the specifications of the donor height, weight. Yeah, yeah, at the sperm banks. At any time, did her sighting go to standing on all fours? Williams wanting to know if your sighting had at any time went all fours. I believe. Are you who you talking about? You talking about? And there's so many encounters in here. I forgot which one was which now. Roxanne had an encounter. Glades had an encounter. Uh, yeah. Um, but no, I mean, as far as the subject as tonight goes, that's something for us to really think about, and us researchers need to start kind of looking into these remains. Um, I mean, I'll show it again here. I mean, are we looking at actual Bigfoot remains and not Ape-Man? Or, I mean, right there, that's what they're calling an Ape-Man. And this here it is. This is a chimp. I'll pull this up. This is actually a skull of a chimp, and you see a huge difference between the two. Like I said earlier, this one's much more flatter, which this one protrudes out more. So, I mean, I pose that question. It's something for all of us researchers to get into. Is what remains of the glades? Okay. Um, yeah, and they're like, feed me now, human. You better feed them, Roxanne, before they start wanting to eat you. Um, could we have misidentification, or are they trying to cover something up to let us know, trying to keep what we know as exist as all this is hidden because of this, and this? Um, we really need to really start. All of us doing research really needs to start thinking about stuff like this here. Um, man, how about a foxbat, just a big cat? Interesting if a cryptid is ever one to bring part human and part animal. That is one with a two animal name, Foxbat Man. Hey, Ida, no worries. Live long and prosper. Uh, but I mean, I need to get with some of these other researchers and content creators, because this is something we really need to start considering. Especially when we know how much of our past they've hidden from us or lied to us about. The fact that misidentification happens a lot in Scientology, a lot in history. That the supposed there's no remains, there's no proof of them. I mean, I'm starting to get on that fence that I'd say they probably found something and they're trying to use this as a cover up. And like I said earlier, we know for a fact carbon dating is way, way out of line. It is not accurate at all. I'll be doing shows from time to time on my Rumble account at the Bizarre and the Unknown. It's called The Current Events with the Bizarre and the Unknown. I put that show on Rumble because I am not censored and monetized like I am on YouTube. So the things I talk about in current events will be on Rumble only because of that. So you guys can go there and find me there. I've set up a X for the Bizarre and the Unknown. I am now going live on YouTube and on X. You got to feed them kitties, man. You really do. So I don't know. Hey, William, did you see them pictures? I'm kind of curious if you've seen the pictures I was shown tonight when it comes to these. Chillicat. So, he might be busy. Um, I don't know. I'm going to reach out. I need to reach when things calm down for DA. I'm going to reach out to him about this. I'm going to reach out to Jessica about this. Reach out to Jesus about this. Jesus Peon. I'm going to start getting this out there because it's something that I was showing these pictures earlier, bro. One that brought me up. We know of Ape-Man, right? And that's the skull they found that they call Ape-Man. And this is supposedly what he looks like. Is this right here? So the skull of Ape-Man is this right here, and you can see how it's almost flat. Versus an actual chimp, which protrudes out a lot more. This is the skull of a chimp. This is the skull of what they call an Ape-Man. So I posed a question: is this actually one of the Bigfoots, not Ape-Man? And are they telling us this is Ape-Man, and but it actually remains a Bigfoot? So I think that's something us researchers need to come into. Yeah, Glades. I thought I had saved another one. I can see if I can find it real quick. You're more of your Sasquatch style. Uh, I actually found a skull remain of what they called an Ape-Man, but it had that really tall skull. And I thought I saved it, but I didn't. I'll see if I can find it again. That's what I was kind of pointing at right there on this one here. On the actual chimp, to me, fits more of a gugly. Oops, and let me pop it down so you can see that better. Come on, man. Why aren't you working for me here? Um, this one here looks more of a gugly style, which this is an actual chimp skull, but this is more gugly style versus oops, hit the wrong button. Daggone it. Versus this one here. And that's why it's like, I wonder. Now that one of the chimp is what they're calling an ancient chimp. It's a skull they found of a long ago chimp, from what they said. Where is that one with that very tall forehead? I'll get to your comments just in a second, guys. I'm trying to find this skull again. I thought I saved it, but I didn't. I found one similar to it, but it's not the one that I was. Why can I not find that now? That's an orangutan. I don't want an orangutan. I want that one. Kind of kicking myself in the butt. I do not know why I did not save that. Could have swore that was in one of them that I saved. Yeah, I'm not finding it now. Yeah, I mean it. Yeah, Roxanne, it really would. But yeah, sorry. Get back to these comments. I gotta get caught up here. Yeah, I mean each one of them really did, but you can see the grinders and you can see the canines on both of them. Yeah, it helps me to guide when I do, Roxanne. Ancient chip, fully formed with hair, could look more baboon than monkey. I would think that the snout will look bigger, like Gugwe. Yeah, I mean, I found one in here that they're calling an old orangutan skull, but that's not the one that I seen earlier. It had a really big center. I mean, I'll show you a close. I can show you a close one. The one I wanted had a bigger crest than this. Let me get back up here. I went all the way down trying to find that one. I'll save this one too because this is what they say is an orangutan, which it does look like an orangutan. Pictures. Let me find this other one. I'll save it and show you what I'm talking about. It's amazing how you can find something right up close and personal one day. And this is another one they're calling an orangutan too, and they look completely different. I'll get to the comments just in a second, guys. I'm trying to resize this so I can load it up. Now, before I load these, let me get back to your questions. Yeah, they're that's a lot of that's kind of similar. They're more baboon looking. Gugwies are very baboon looking. I wish I didn't have to, but I gotta go, mysteries. Thank you. Hey, take it easy, Glades. It was good seeing you. Thank you for coming in. Oh, hey, Ryan. Thank you for coming in, bud. Sorry, I was looking something up there for a second. So give me a second. I'll get back to your comments. Let me load these two images up real quick. But yeah, I mean, you're another one. I'll show you them real quick, Ryan, while you're in here before I upload these ones. I was posing the question. They're calling this a ancient remains of a Ape-Man, and I'm posing the question: could this actually be remains of Bigfoot that have been found, but they're claiming that is ancient, or is this actually old remains that they've found? You see this the Ape-Man compared to a chimp, which is this here. This is what they say is an old chimp versus this one, which they're saying is Ape-Man. And we know that according to them, this is what Ape-Man looked like. Was something like this one here. You can see the kind of comparison with the bone. Um, it's kind of what we're talking about today. Um, But I was like, I need to get with more researchers to kind of look into this. We need to think of a new term for Gugwe, especially when you know where the name is derived from. The name doesn't mean make sense to us. Oh, face eater. Yeah, Native American name, or the Gugwe Native American means face eater. Judging on looks, I'd say it could be a Bigfoot. What's the top of the head like? Any sagittal crest? That one there, I don't believe it did. Let me get back to enter. I need to upload these videos, but if I exit out of uploading videos, this one does not. I'll show you here. Oh, it's not showing it completely. Oh, it's too big. I can see it on my end, but when it goes up on the computer screen, it doesn't show it. It doesn't have a crest. Let me upload these two real quick, so I won't be able to answer comments until these are uploaded. So you guys have to forgive me on that for a few minutes. There's one that is what an orangutan, and another one that they're calling a type of orangutan, which will be what I'm getting ready to upload. Shit, which one did I upload? Okay. Oh, that was the second one. Oh man, I think put that up live. I wasn't ready for it to be live. Okay, so this one here is an orangutan skull, but you can see a high. You can see the high forehead, which is in some Sasquatch reportings would look more like this, with the high forehead. Gugu is where the name stems from. The Gogu was the basket Orgus and was always a female. She was also taller than the heights of the tree. Huh. Um, Now, the one I was looking at earlier, which they were calling an Ape-Man, you can see, oh, it's not showing it on this one either. That fin on top of the head. Daggone it. Uh, let me try to scale this down. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Let's see if I can remember how to scale this down. Tell you what, I'm more. That don't help though, so I kind of do need that. Let me try this again real quick. Let's see if I can get that fin on here. I kind of shrunk it down as close to the edges as I could to try to get this fit. It's still not doing it. Daggone you. All right, guys, I don't know. I'll have to put it on my social media. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. But anyways, you can see the difference between them. Same teeth, just larger. What I've seen, interesting. But this is something I really think us researchers need to get into: is look at these ancient remains and see how they look very similar to what we know as Bigfoot today, or Sasquatch, Shiai Tonka, whatever the term is you want to use. You know, for me personally, I believe there's the actual Shiai Tonka, you know, the elder big brother, which is Sasquatch. There is the ones that look very Neanderthal like, which is either A, lost remnants of Neanderthal, or B, which is more, I'm kind of I'm really on both sides, but I'm leaning more towards this one right now, which is human and Sasquatch crossbreeds that look more Neanderthal like, and then you have Gugwe. Yeah, yeah. Reach in there, Ryan. Heck yeah, man. Oh, that kind of aggravates the tar out of me when I shrunk that down and made it even larger when I displayed it. But the one I seen had a really tall fin. Hey Tracy, how's it going? Oh, thank you. You're a sweetheart. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But the one I was looking at yesterday, the fin on top of the head was a lot larger than it was on this other one that they called as orangutan. But the skull looks so much more different than the original orangutan one. The first orangutan. This is an actual orangutan skull, um, which is this one here. That looks so much more different. Oh, I'm gonna have to read. I'm gonna have to read look that picture up. But there's just they look different. Why is my chat thing doing this? No worries, no worries. Thank you for coming in. Which type would work with the government? I don't think either one of them would, but I mean it's hard to say, Ida. Um, we know for generations they've stole cryptids and other stuff and used it in their military stuff. So honestly, I don't know. The only one I've ever heard reports on was Dogman versus Werewolf, where they said the werewolf was more controllable than Dogman because Werewolf still has a lot of humanity to him, where Dogman is straight beast. So a werewolf was more controllable than a Dogman was. Then you got the stories from World War II, where the Allies were talking about watching these German werewolves transform and take out whole platoons of people. So I mean, there's stories all over about that. As far as stories with Bigfoot and military, I've not really seen any. Not saying that there ain't. I've just not seen any. I'd say more along the lines. I probably got them for research studies, or they could be doing what they did to that one they caught in Russia, and they get drunk every night and made whoopee with it, and he's got offspring all over the world now, or all over Russia now. So, I mean, it's an interesting concept. What? I can't put you out right now. You're gonna have to wait. Come on, you spoilt thing. Yes, I know. Yes, yes, yes. No, I'm alive, bud. No, I'm on live. You know, use your manners. Manners. Behave. Thank you. Um. So I mean, man, definitely need to do more research on this topic because I think it really needs to be brought to light and more study needs to be done. Um. I just don't know, man. That although that one they're calling an orangutan to God, that looks a lot like Gugwe to me. That did. It really looked more Gugwe style than it did anything. I wonder if I can manipulate that back. No, it's not going to let me. Try to find it again real quick. Well, that was an evil looking one. Where'd you go? Oh, that one I was looking for earlier. Oh. Crap, I just found that one I was looking for earlier. I just found it. This thing is wicked as hell. I don't know what they're claiming it is, but the thing is wicked. Come on, go back up here. Thank you. Okay. Now I got them saved in there, and let me refit these, and I'll get this put back up. I can pull it. I found that one skull. Oh, I found that one skull finally. I'll get to the chats just in a minute, guys. Let me fit this up and get these uploaded. And then I'll get back to your chats. Get caught up on that. I want to load these up. I don't know why you're not doing it. What the hell is going on with you? Try this again. There we go. That one's loading. Finally. So that one there was the one I was talking about earlier that they were also calling an orangutan skull. Um, you can see that one there versus that one there. You can see a difference between the two. And then, of course, this is the one I was trying to show you earlier. You see the little crest on it. Then you got, let me upload it real quick. This is the one that I was looking for earlier that I couldn't find, where you can see a huge, this thing is like massively huge. And it doesn't tell me what kind of skull this thing is. Oh, dude, you're going to do me like that? Oh, man. But this thing here, it, the one I was trying to show you, which wasn't showing up on the full screen, at least for me, it wasn't. It had fins that came up like this, and it was like really above the head, along with the fin that comes up this way. And it was way above the skull. Yes, please hit that. Yeah, and that's the thing too. But it's just something we got to consider is what they're telling us. Um, is this actually Ape-Man, or is this remains of Bigfoot that they don't want us to know about? So they're saying, hey, this is an ancient this is an ancient Ape-Man, relative to Homo erectus. I'll send you that one picture, William, I'll send it to you in Messenger here in a little bit. I did, but when I cropped the last time, it made it so big that you seen less of the skull. I don't know if there's a way I might be able to. Let me try resizing this in a different way here. See if I can get it to work that way. It was at 225, so I put it at 300. Let's see if I'm getting close to what I need to show you guys that picture. Getting closer. No, it's showing the same thing. Never mind. So on this one here, you can kind of see the fins on the side coming off the socket. It meets with that one that looks like this one here. You see out in the center, it's got that big old thin crest on top. So this one here, the sides come up and meet with it, and it looks weird, but for some reason I can't get it sized right in the deal here. So I'll just send it to you on Messenger, let you look at it that way. Thing's wicked looking. I don't know if there's another way. I might. We're gonna test something real quick, guys. I didn't think about this. Let me bring this over here. Can you guys see that in the screen and where I'm making it bigger? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That was the one that I was looking at going, holy cow. Now, this is the one I can't find what kind of skull this is. But look how much taller from the forehead it is compared to those others I was showing. So this is why I was like, what is this thing right here? I mean, it's got canines, it's got incisors, it's got molars. It's obviously an ape style. Now, because it's been something that they made up, possibly this could very well be something that someone just made as a joke. Um, I can't dispute that. I really can't. But is this something real? All of them very good possibilities. But we need to start looking into these old bones and what they're calling that, and pick up the stories from the natives and the stories like what I read to you earlier. You know, I read you that news article from 1935. It does, but honestly, I cannot. It does not tell me what kind of skull that is, Ida. To me, it possibly is something that somebody made, or I don't know. That's what I was thinking. That's why I said it's in that possibility of something that somebody made. Um, but it was cool how tall it is. And when you see that, that's where I kind of look more of the Shiatanka style, with the big protruding forehead. I'm looking at something like that skull there, more than these other ones, but I could be wrong. I absolutely could be wrong. But I don't know, man. Yeah, that's kind of pretty much what I had on today's deal, is this questioning them bones. And I mean, I'll put these ones up here one more time for you guys to look at, of the Ape-Man. I mean, we know this is the common bone that they said they found for Ape-Man. And then, supposedly this is what he looked like, which can fall in that lines of Bigfoot. So the food for thought for people to think about, and for anybody out there doing research, is let's get some of these old encounters. I didn't think about that, William. Yeah, it wouldn't tell me what it was. It just said skull. Is all I had on there. But I mean, obviously it's a it is of the you know ape family, but I mean, then again, if you look at the descriptions of Tonka or Sasquatch, they are very much ape-like or gorilla-like. So, I mean, yeah, I mean that's another possibility right there. I mean, on the actual Sasquatch one, the original Elder Big Brothers, they are very much gorilla-like. So, oh yeah, I mean that's definitely, I could see that being very similar actually. Huh. I don't know why I didn't think about that one earlier. A lot of the old stories would tell you they are very gorilla like. So, huh? No, it was just something that I'd found that I thought was interesting looking. Uh, that's why I couldn't put credibility to it, because that one there didn't have a whole lot of information with it. But the thought of it being a gorilla never crossed my mind. So now you got me thinking about gorilla, and now you got me thinking about the Native American descriptions of Tonka, and got me thinking. We got stories of prehistoric gorillas here in the United States. So could what we've been calling prehistoric gorillas, what were they? What was those gorillas we had? I can't remember. Could that actually have been Bigfoot remains and not some prehistoric gorilla? Yeah, it's the thing. Without measurements, man, I can't tell you the size of it. I really can't tell you the size without measurements. Yeah, at the same time, could have been a juvenile or a female. Giant. Yeah, I don't speak Latin. Giantopathy. I can't even say the damn word off the top of my head right now. I don't have a thesaurus for me to go back and look at thesaurus. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm just getting into. Ancient apes, yeah. But that's kind of what I'm just kicked around there when William said, gorilla. It just dawned on me about gigantic Chipithecus, whatever. I can't. I'll work on it. Um, could it? Could that not actually been an actual prehistoric thing, but remains of Bigfoot? I mean, yeah. Question everything, just like William says. Yeah, that's why I tell people, don't ever take what I say for granted. This is just a theory that popped in my head doing research on these old news articles. And I was like, man, this would be an interesting topic for a show. Gigantic pit hugus. I know how to say it. I just can't get it to run off my tongue off the top of my head. I want to say it, and I've got it in my brain how to say it, but how to get it from here out of my mouth is not working. But unfortunately, that's how my brain works. I know what it says in my brain, but trying to get it from my brain out to my little pie hole, yeah, it don't work in there as good. because I don't speak Latin. I speak American. Um, but yeah, man, that's something else. I really got to dig into that theory too, because I had forgotten all about that until you said that. Gigantopithecus. Yes. Gigantopithecus. Today, on the Bizarre and the Unknown, William Nighthawk's version of, oh my God, what was that program called? I had it too at one time trying to help me to read. Oh my God, Hooked on Phonics. Yeah, Hooked on Phonics did not work for me. I used to have Hooked on Phonics. Hooked on Phonics did not work for me. That's the problem with my dyslexia that I deal with a lot. It's like I know what I want to say, but trying to say it is yeah. Gigantopithecus. So thanks for that, William. That kind of helped doing it that way. That helped out a lot. Um, but I mean, this is stuff we need to look at. We know, like I said earlier, we know the government lies to you. We know mainstream science lies to you. We know that mainstream historians lie to us. It's cinnamon. That's how you say that. That's how you say cinnamon. Is cinnamon? It's not cinnamon. It's cinnamon. Man, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Everybody follows me on here, man. I got a great group of people who follow me. To all my new followers out there, thank you so much for following this channel. I am truly honored and blessed that you guys chose to follow me. When I last looked, I was at 233 followers. We're growing every single day. That's amazing. I'm trying to think of what I want to do for when I hit 500. I've got to do something, so I got to start saving up some money to get some stuff to hand out when we hit that 500 mark. We're creeping there every single day. So, and to all my new followers, thank you for subscribing. It's much appreciated, and I hope we can build this universe together and have a lot of fun do this. Aluminum, aluminum. Aluminum is aluminum. Num, 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 num. Aluminum. Aluminum. That's how you say aluminum. Aluminum is aluminum. Num, 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 num. But y'all are amazing, and I appreciate every single one of you guys. I am truly honored and blessed for every single one of you guys. So I got you guys laughing. There you go. That's what this show is. It's not just education, but it's got comedy with it as well. Courtesy to the babyface fluffy guy. Aluminum. Aluminum. You hooker. Why did you kick me out? Oh my gosh. You and me are going to fight. Stupid Microsoft. Microsoft, for some reason, kicked me out and wanted me to log back in. Freaking communist. Well, I'm waiting on that to load. Yes, babyface fluffy. Entertainment value brought to you courtesy of the babyface fluffy guy, E.D. Testman. One is glad to be of service. The heck if that wasn't. Dude, you and me's gonna fight. Woosaw. Oh, I start pulling out some anger management stuff here. I'm so pretty, oh so pretty, so I don't lose my temper on the stupid communist program. I know my password. I've had the same password on you for a long time. How are you telling me my password is incorrect? Hi. All right, back to ED. Do you hear Microsoft is not going to do 10 anymore soon? Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, magnesium, yum, yum, yum. That really sucks. I did hinted my. Oh, you mean he's going to fight later? I'm going to deal with you off the air because there's words I'm about ready to tell you that I can't say on the air. Yeah, which that really sucks. Magnesium. I'm not sure I want to touch that one, David. Um, what you guys do when the computer is off is your business. Oh my gosh. But spread the love, spread the trees. Come get some, Melissa, please. So a couple of these guys that I highly recommend. Before I forget, if you guys are interested in my books, I write the historical fiction cryptid horrors. I've got two genres in that. I've heard two different styles in that. I've got Saga Grimson Book One, the beginning, Saga Grimson Book Two, Black Death. Then I also have the prequel to it, which is the Vengerian Guard Book One, House of Battle. That is my historical fiction cryptid horrors. I have a sci-fi series called In Harjar Book One, Emergence, and then I have an actual historical fiction that is called the Dolphs, The Land Beyond, which is the start of my Mountain Man series. I guarantee, yeah, I can see that. I can see that happening, David. I've been known to write a poem or two, Roxanne. Heck yeah, ain't nothing wrong with sitting around the old campfire. Actually, in my no, I don't. I don't think I uploaded the poems on my Patreon yet. I've actually started a book with some of my poems. I don't think I've transferred them from my notepad to Word yet. I've wrote poems most of my life. Um, honestly, I wrote poems to. How's a polite way of putting this on YouTube? To gain the fancies of the opposite gender, I would write them poems. Yep. I've also wrote short eroticas for years too. And the start of my erotica book is on my Patreon. You can see that on tier 2 or 3, or tier 1 and 2 and 3. Yes, Roxanne, it worked every time. I was not always the smiley little fluffy face guy you saw. I had a uh, so when something horrible happened with my first true love, I was not the. I went to a very dark place. I don't like to talk about this very often because it brings me down. My first true love was killed in a car accident, and I blame myself for her death. Um, her and her family was going to move to where I was because we were always together. We had our whole lives planned out. I was always going to go in the military. I was never good at schooling. So I wasn't planning on doing any schooling. What I planned on doing was take my GI Bill, letting her use it because she always wanted to be a doctor. And I was either going to stay in the military. If I was going to stay in the military, she was going to be a doctor on base. Or when she was done with schooling and I was done with the military, I was going to go into law enforcement and she was going to practice medicine on the outside. And I mean, that was the path that we had chose for a long time. And I got in trouble protecting her. So I had to go away for a little bit. My family bought the property that I'm on now, and we moved out here. So she never got to move to where I was. And then that winter, I never got to say goodbye. That winter there, they hit a slick spot, spun around. She got flung from the vehicle, and the vehicle rolled on top of her. There you go, William. Hickory dickory dock. The ginger giant loves to talk. But just like my parrot, Ginger grind and bared it until the ginger blew its top. Grinned and bared it. Fire sounds great. Turn Mel loose. You may not have a yard left. I know. So yeah, I went to a very dark place when she died, and so I didn't value and appreciate the comforts of a woman at one time. I just, except for one way and one way only. Thank you, my brother. So, yeah. So I was not always. It took a lot of work to get back to where I am now, and I still have my moments. So between that and other deaths that are very near dear to me and my military, I have my moments still to this day. Um, I do it struggles, but I've learned how to get back to where I need to be and be the person that I was meant to be, which is me now. So I appreciate it, Ida, but it's hard to say otherwise. But I appreciate it. Thank you. Uh, Change subjects here. If you guys are not following my good brother William Nighthawk, who's in the chat right now, y'all are missing out. Go on YouTube, look up William Nighthawk 6630. This man is a fountain of information. He knows stuff on several aspects. I really highly recommend following him. I love being on his co-hosting with him on Saturday and Sunday mornings. It is truly an honor and a blessing to have been invited on his show and be a part of his show. I look forward to it all the time, except for when I oversleep and don't hear my alarm that one time. It's always great being on with him. Thank you, Ida. We meaning me, Tracy, and Tracy and chat. Love you and sorry for your loss. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It's part of life, man. Everything happens, sometimes not for a good reason, but everything happens for a reason. And I got to tell myself, and I push myself on. Another great man to follow is D.A. Roberts. He's also a fellow author. If you go to YouTube or you go to Amazon, the same as me. For me, it's E.D. Teshman. For DA, it's D.A. Roberts. Look up his books. Join our Facebook or Amazon authors. My God, I can't even talk now. Our authors fan page. Anytime one of us drops a new book, it'll let you know. And our books are sold on Amazon. Some of mine are on Audible. I'm trying to get some more on there. Some of his are, a lot of his you can listen to on Cameron Buckner's Dixie Cryptid. But if you go to his YouTube channel, DX Machina podcast, you will not be disappointed. Another good one is the cryptid huntress herself, Jessica Jones. If you go to YouTube and look up the cryptid huntress, she's a great researcher. She's got a really good head on her shoulder, and she comes up with some amazing stuff. She's really doing great. A co-host of DX Machina is Robbie Rip Rains, and he's got a YouTube channel called What's Really Out There. So if you go to the YouTube channel, What's Really Out There, 7170, you can listen to stories that him and Johnny do. Well worth listening to them as well. If you guys got an encounter you want me to do a video on, and I've done that and posted it on my YouTube channels, email me at cryptidmythological@gmail.com. I love hearing your encounters. I love if you want me to do videos. If you want to be anonymous, I keep you anonymous. If you don't want to be, I won't. I mean, however you want me to do the videos, how I'm going to do it when it comes to that aspect. But the only way we get the truth out there is we start catching everybody's encounters. So if you got something you want me to do a video on, put it out there. I'm trying to get things gathered up for Project Paperclip. Corey has sent me some stuff, and I've found some other stuff, and I keep getting stuff. So once I can get enough stuff where I can do a decent video, I will be putting out a video on Project Paperclip. I'm not oh my God, not Project Paperclip, the Antarctica one. Now I brain farted. Anyways, one on Antarctica. Another really good one is Jesus Payon Jr. He's an actor. He's now an author. I've got his book. In fact, it's in the living room. And he's getting ready to release another book. And he's an awesome researcher. So if you go to YouTube and look up Breaking Discoveries or Breaking Bigfoot, you'll find my good friend and actor Jesus Payon Jr. He's been in like 50 movies, and some of the stuff you may know him better from is the TV shows Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad. He was Gonzo's bodyguard. All of them are very much need to watch. Oh yes, yeah, right here, BMR, Blondes and Booze. I keep forgetting I had theirs on here. Texas Front Porch, they're a good one. Woods Walkers is another good one. I don't have permission to share their stuff on here, but I mean I don't mind putting them out there. If you guys are looking for some really good trauma kits, I keep forgetting to make the banner. I need to make that banner. Go to Dark Angel Medical. Kerry Pocket Doc Davis, who's a co-host on DX Machina, has his own trauma medical kits. I have 2 of them. I love them. I need to save up money, get some more. They are a little bit on the pricey side, but they're for life. If you use them and you save a life and you send him what you did, he replaces that for free. So yes, you're going to spend a lot of money up front, but you're saving money in the long run. And he doesn't have cheap stuff in his kits. All his kits are grade A, top-notch stuff. I've got the military standard because I know, even though, yes, I know a lot of basic first aid, most of my experiences is military field combat medicine. I know how to get a guy good enough for a doc to come get him and drag him off the field. So that's why I went with that style trauma kits. But they got different kinds. If you got, I can't remember what classes they are where you can buy medical kits from if you're in like first responder or any type of medical field. But he does have those programs where you can buy them kits with that program. I meant to message him today and I got caught up mowing and forgot. I need to get with him. I need to get all the information so I can better shout out his business. These that are veteran. He's a veteran. He was he was a medic in the Air Force. His company is veteran based. 100% guaranteed the very best trauma kits you can buy. There ain't a better kit out there than Dark Angel Medical. I guarantee you that. Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right, William. They are 100%. Yeah. And he's got amazing training. You can follow him on Instagram, YouTube. I can't remember the other platform, but he trains you on how to use your kits too. So I'm glad you said that because I forgot about that. But he does have this program, the videos out there to help you learn your kit better. So if you're looking for a great trauma kit, first aid kit, look up Dark Angel Medical. Use the discount DA Roberts 10, and you can use DA Roberts as promotion code, and he'll give you 10% off of the purchases. Um, yes, exactly, and mine, not just mine, but yours as well. I do have merchandise on Bonfire, although I am switching over to Spring. But you can go to a Bonfire and look up William Nighthawk's merchandise. You usually see me wearing one of his shirts when I'm on with him. But you also got mine. Let me get to it on here. I just dropped a new design on mine. We were talking about it earlier, and it is the Ginger Lives Matter she-wolf style. And I'll show you the logo one more time because I was showing everybody earlier. Well, I say that, but I can't see it now. Let me delete a couple of these, see if it pops up. Oops, crap, wrong one. Right there. That is the she-wolf style to Ginger Lives Matter. We were having fun running with the Ginger Lives Matter stuff, and there was a quest to make a red-haired werewolf style merchandise. So you have that in the store along with my regular the Bizarre and the Unknown merchandise. Hey, Freaky. So you can go there and find that. I will be doing other merchandise too. Currently, if you go to my author's Facebook page, I have 5 photos picked out for a red-haired Bigfoot, which will be my next one. I've got designs for red-haired giant women, reptilians, red-haired robots, red-haired aliens. So I'll leave the Sasquatch one up for a week. I'm still probably going to tweak on these others a little bit more. Every week I'll drop a new design for a new type of merch that you guys have been wanting to see, and we'll come up with a logo to go with them. For the red-haired giant ones, it's probably going to be Ginger Giants. Will be the logo on it, unlike the red Ginger Lives Matter. We're probably going to hit up with the Ginger Giants. So yeah, I wonder why you love those redheads, Roxanne. I wonder why. It's always confused me. Some calling them redheads, but their hair is actually orange. Yeah. Well, and the thing too with the giants, though, the red hair is more tied to the Nephilim. There is actually several different types of giants, but everybody classifies them in the Nephilim class. The Nephilim, if you actually study Nephilim, are red-haired, double row teeth, 6 fingers, 6 toes. There's other giants that didn't have red hair that also had the 6 fingers and 6 toes, and amongst other stuff. There's different sizes, so there's different kinds of giants besides Nephilim. So that's something we got to keep in. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, so I've got shirts and coffee mugs in the Ginger Lives Matter out right now. I've got a regular coffee cup, and I have a tin style campfire coffee cup, and also a sticker with that logo as a sticker available for the Ginger Lives Matter one. Actually, that's yeah. Ronald McDonald's an interesting subject. Probably not good for you too, William. But yes, I can see what you're talking about. That may be a Rumble show. But you get regular Bizarre and the Unknown stuff, which I've got hats, hoodies, T-shirts on that as well. Different kinds of merchandise, coffee cups, and ornaments and stuff like that you can get on the Bizarre and the Unknown. And I'll be coming up with more stuff. So if you guys got an idea for some merch you'd like me to make dealing with the Bizarre and the Unknown universe, let me know. Either hit me up on Facebook or hit me up on my email. I'll come up with something. I create this merchandise for you. This merchandise ain't for me. This merchandise is for you. So I want to make something that you guys would love. Yeah, I need to start getting some stuff up to get another a current events with the Bizarre and the Unknown on Rumble going. McDonald's would be an interesting one. Now, China or Japan, Ronald McDonald clown is extra creepy. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. There's a lot of stuff in fast food, folks, and there's a reason why I don't eat fast food very often. Um, let's just say I don't follow the means of a lot of other giants. So fast food for me is not really. It's a last resort type deal. I'm not a big fan of fast food for several reasons. That just happens to be one of them. If you guys haven't already, hit that like, subscribe, and share button. Let's build this amazing universe and let's have fun. That's kind of. I mean, that's kind of the way I am too, freaky. The only time I'll do it is if I have no other choice. So I made a poem that kind of goes with the closing of this show. We're over the 2 hour mark, so we're going to start winding down. I got to get ready for work. I was going to tweak this, and I may still tweak it. Hey, Rev, how's it going? You caught me right at the end, bud. But thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. I just haven't tweaked it yet. So the closing goes: there comes a time when a warrior falls. They leave this realm and will be missed by all. Raise a glass and keep them in your heart. They have kept this realm safe and performed their part. Look to your veterans, your active duty, your EMTs, and the blue line. What they have done, what they do or have done was walk that fine line. When the demon comes calling on your soul, they will be there to save us all. Hold them in your prayers, for they are deserving. They all have served or are serving. With that, you guys, thank you so much. How come I have a visual of Ronald McDonald riding Lucifer from Denver Airport? Yeah. We need to get together and come up with that. No worry, Rev. I am still blessed that you came in, buddy. No worries. This is you'll be able to catch this on anytime on YouTube. I'm a little behind on posting my shows on Rumble. I can't go live directly on Rumble from this platform. The live on Rumble I do is the current events, but I do post this stuff on the Rumble as well. I need to get around to do it. I'll probably do it this week. Most of the week I'm going to be off because of holidays. Plus, I got to get my truck down to the shop, get the engine put in it. So it's going to be a busy week. So I don't know how much I'm going to have time of writing or research, but we will get it done. With that being said, you guys, thank you so much for coming. Remember, never take what I say for granted. Take it with a grain of salt and do your own research. Let's get out there. We'll start studying these ancient, what they call our ancient bones, and try to tie things together, because I believe there's more to the story than just these are our ancestors. So let's keep that in mind. And with that being said, I'll see you guys again either with William on Saturday or Sunday morning, or I'll see you for Campfire Chat Saturday. As always, everybody, peace, love, and blessings to you all. You guys too. And to those guys who missed it, happy Father's Day. You guys are truly a blessing. And if it wasn't for you, we couldn't be here. So to all the fathers out there, thank you so much. I forgot I didn't do a video on Mother's Day if I forgot. So I'll do a late happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there as well, because you guys are the same way. You guys are a blessing. And you guys are the life bringers of the world. The men are the protectors, the educators, the disciplinaries, and the providers. And the women are the caretakers and the nurturers and the life bringers. We're all important. If it wasn't for the mothers and fathers, we would not be here. Today's happens to be Father's Day, so to all the fathers, happy Father's Day. And until next time, folks, much love to you, and let's get some research done and information out there, folks.